Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Susan for Susan Diamond Paints. Okay, your view is going to be a little bit different now. I had been diamond painting for the past months now, flat. And today, I woke up this morning with my neck hurting. So now I got to move my table, since it is an artist table, to get my table up and slanted. And then I had to raise the camera up a little higher, so just to get over the artist the tables now being slanted up. So you're at a higher view than you have been. So it's not gonna be this is as close up as I can get you right now, but you still should be able to see me diamond painting and be still good. So that's where you guys are. Today is Saturday, so this video will be the next video that you have. I should have a video up for you Monday. This will probably be Wednesday's video. Not a lot, not that I can think of to tell you. Friday, I almost finished my project up, so I was glad about that. I still got to work a little bit on it Monday, and then hopefully I can get all my requests off and all the checks done and have them ready to pick up on Thursday when I come back in. So I'm going in the office on Monday. Monday I have a doctor's appointment. It's the time for the boobs to get smushed. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get that done at the beginning of the year. Then I won't have to worry about it for the rest of the year, so I'm getting that done Monday. And so I was like, well, since the office that I go to is in Spartanburg, I'll just go ahead and go into work. So that's what I'm doing Monday, is going into work. So then that I can do what I need to do there. And let me think about something here. Ooh, it's cold. Try that. Electric just shot to me. Make sure. Okay, I must have been hearing things. Thought I heard my husband, but he did not knock on the door. So, all right, sorry about that. So anyway, I had to turn my porch light on though, so he knew that I was still out here. So that's what happened for Friday, and then today, sitting out here, this afternoon, I worked on my picture here. So you will not be seeing all progress worked on this, because I figured, you're going to get bored with it. I promised, though, that the idea for the Justice League pictures, both of them, is from beginning to end. So you'll get, I'm thinking all videos on that, so then some of those will not be chatty videos. They'll just be time-lapse videos, I guess, or time-lapse if you want to watch it. Not chatty ones, I don't guess. I don't know. It's just, if I do chatty videos, me sitting here chatting with you. Sometimes I don't have a lot to tell you, and if I tell you a bunch of stuff about work, you'll get bored. So that's kind of where it is. So I don't have too much to tell you now, other than, it's the weekend. So like I said, Saturday, I came out here and worked, and the idea, I told my husband, is for these customs, I want to get all of them, so this one and the next one, done by Easter. So that's my goal. That's what I'm aiming for, and have these done by Easter. So I can get them to the lady whose daughters are pictures. These are for, so that they will have them. So that's all that's going on there. Last night I started watching I've been watching Bones again, picked it back up, so I've been watching it. This is like the third round here for me to go through with Bones, but Bones is easy to sit and watch and just enjoy it and not worry about anything. So that's what I did some last night, and then I got tired of watching a couple of episodes, so I was like, let me find something else to watch. So I went over to Netflix and was just kind of scrolling through different things. I got different crime documentaries, and then there's one on there I think it's probably like 3 episodes long. It may be 4. I just want to think there's only 3, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, it's called I Killed My Dad. So it's this 17-year-old kid who calls 911 after he shoots his dad like 3 times. And then there's the whole story of whether or not, I guess, the idea of because maybe the father mentally and physically abused him, that it could be self-defense. But there's a lot of things that's not adding up, and it's one of these things where you kind of watch it, and then I watched the first episode, and I was in the second episode, and it's way late. It's time to go to bed because it's after 1. And so it's like, yeah, you want to go to bed? It's like, yeah, so it's one of these things, you kind of let your show roll around in your head, you not think about it. And then I was sitting here today, diamond painting, and I got thinking about, what was said. So the, you find out later that his mother and dad were separated, divorced, I guess, because, he can't get remarried. He was remarried, so. And him and his second wife were separated. So she wasn't in the house when he shot his dad. So kind of find out that he was missing when he was 5. But I had told us, I was thinking about it. I said, now, this happens in 2019 when he shoots his dad. He's 17 years old when he shoots his dad. So 17 years ago, or 12 years ago when he's 5, we're looking at 2002. Now, when you are a missing person, you go into a missing persons database. So that's when, police can search for you if they need to. So there's a DNA there's a woman that does DNA and genealogy, and she tracks his mother down. And she talks to her and kind of tells the mother, hey, we found your son, and this is what's going on, And that's when she finds out, well, he was missing when he was 5, and the person that was supposed to have taken him was his father, which, his father did, and moved him out of Texas into Louisiana, Baton Rouge. So, anyway, the police officer who's investigating the case, who was hands-on when we went to pick him up after he called 911, said he shot his dad, can't find him in the missing persons database, which is unusual, because once you become a missing person, you should go in that database. So I don't know if it's the idea of he was missing and she went to the police, or he was missing and she didn't go to the police, and therefore that's why a missing persons report's not documented. I don't know on that. I know that and I'm pretty much giving you what the series is about, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you this now. If you plan on watching it, don't listen to it, because I'm getting ready to go into what you find out as you watch the episodes. But she goes into depth when she talks about when she was married to his father, and he was very abusive, physically abusive, so much so that he was abusive when she was pregnant with her son, and he is one of those smooth talkers that can pretty much talk himself out of anything, and that's what he did when he was abusing her. I don't know, what, I mean, this is your side of her side of the story that you're hearing, so you take it pretty much with a grain of salt, because you don't hear the police that she reports the abuse to. He at one point, like when the baby's like 6 months old, he takes off in a car with them, and she, of course, calls the police and reports that he's beaten her, and he's ran off with the child, and she's concerned for the child, and he gets, away scot-free. So, I don't know if it's from that she has no faith in the police, or if it was just a domestics. It's just one of those things you don't know, because you don't know if it's one of these things where, maybe they got divorced and he got custody. It's just one of those crazy things, because you don't know. So, she's elated because she's found her son, but then she's upset because she's found her son and he's killed his father. And right now he's, in jail, serving, in jail is where he is because they're waiting, to go to trial and all that good stuff. And they're also waiting because he didn't kill him. So he dies. Like the stepmother is the one that pretty much has to pull the plug. He's on a ventilator. He was shot in the head and shot in the back, and I think he shot him like 3 times. So I don't know where the third shot went, but I mean, he was pretty much brain dead, living on a machine, and she makes the decision to pull the plug on the ventilator, and he dies. So now we're going to manslaughter. He's been charged with manslaughter. And I was telling Les, I said, he is supposedly supposed to be homeschooled, but you can tell he really has no education. He knows how to read and knows how to write, and that's probably about it. And that's it. He has no social skills, no. He's very, especially on the 911 call, and you hear it, he's very plain, monotone, no reaction, no I'm sorry, no crying, no nothing. He's just, all I can say is it's just flat. He's flat. And, that's, of course, the assistant DA, she's like, she's not sure he can be capable of empathy. And she said he's very concerning on his demeanor and everything in the police interview. But I was telling Les, I said, it's kind of hard. I said to know if, he has no social cues. He doesn't know how to react in a situation, and in the interview he's stating he wants to tell his story, and he just talks about when he gets arrested, but after he calls 911, he just thinks, and in his words, he thinks, well, they'll just find him, go over it, just talk to me and let me go. I'm thinking, well, no, you've killed somebody. They don't let you go when you kill somebody. It doesn't work that way. So it's how can you live life not knowing right from wrong, but when you're not being educated on it, then how do you really know? I mean, when your moral compass hasn't been guided, hasn't evolved, you haven't been educated, you just don't know what you're supposed to do and not do in a situation. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I mean, he was kept in the house. He did have a job. He worked in a nursery, and they interview one of the ladies that works with him in the nursery, and his father was so controlling of him that even though the son had a phone, the father had an app on his phone where he could track where his son was. And she said that one day he calls and says, hey, my son's just been standing in a circle, or he's just standing in one place, or he's in one place. What's he doing? And they had to explain to him where, he's fertilizing and watering, the plant. So that is just in one certain area. So it's kind of like, okay, so you are watching your son that closely, really? How controlling are you? So that's kind of where I'm at in the episode is, trying to get the lowdown on they're talking to the mother, and then of course he has a sister, and the mother's mom, they're talking to her, and she's talking about how the father was, and she just knew that he was not right for her daughter. She said, well, what can you say, because that's your child, and your child's going to make mistakes that they're going to make. So it's just, I don't know, it's just the weirdness of that. And then of course the criminal lawyer, they also interview him, and he's talking about how he says, a lot of people, ask him, so how can you be a lawyer of defense for a criminal? And he said, that's his job. He said what he has a hard time with is if he's a lawyer for the defense and somebody doesn't do it, they're innocent and they still go to jail. He said, that's what I have to live with. And he said, that's me not doing my job. I didn't do my job well enough to keep somebody from going to jail, and have to think or know that they're innocent. But the stuff's stacked against you, and off to jail you go. So, and that's that's it has to be a hard pill to swallow, to know that you didn't do your job well enough to keep a person that you really pretty much believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that they didn't do whatever crime they're accused of. And that goes with really believing in the justice system. Does the justice system work like it's supposed to? So that's thoughts on that, and that's kind of one of those things that your mindset is when you say, suppose you have to do jury duty and you have to decide on somebody's life of whether or not they did whatever it is they're being accused of. That's part of the American way with you're judged by your peers. That's you being a juror and not putting any unnecessary weight on anybody. And when you have to make that, you don't have a choice when you serve on a jury. I mean, you're chosen. You have to serve, so try to serve beyond, to the best of your ability. I mean, that's all I can say on that. I've served twice. I have served both. Well, the second time I served, I didn't get picked, and then it was kind of like one of those things that we'll call you, and let's get a couple of days, and I never got picked. So I think it was civil, it wasn't criminal. First time I served was criminal. So I've done my time on a criminal court, I think, but it wasn't the first case was the guy pleaded out, so didn't have to make a judgment on it. But the second case that I served on was a molestation case, and at the time the children were under the age of 11, and it was two girls, two sisters. So that was a bit hard. I was young when I served on that jury, so there was an older lady that kind of talked to me, especially during the first case where it was the one that it was a plead out. I think it was a plead out. But she kind of talked to me and said, he had a previous charge, but they didn't bring that up in court. Even though, you listen to a little bit and then you find out the next day he pleads out, so you don't have to make any kind of judgment on anything. And that's, what that is. It's hard to see where my cover, but I know right here at the end of my washi tape is where the end of my cover sheet is, and this all up here, right here is open, where it is. I think where the line should be is open right there, so I have to put my beads on that. So I am using my get that in the end here. I am using my sticky pad on my table here to keep my what I've been doing is putting my color square box up there so that I have it to empty if I need more beads. I've been keeping that on there. I keep my stopper on my new diamond paint tray that I got from Admore's Desk for my 12-day advent calendar. I put that there, and then I got my trashy tray from her also. I have it sitting there too, so trying to get my stopper, have to get my stopper in correctly for it to stop. Okay, there we go. So I'm getting a hang of actually, hanging onto the tray. It was a little rough earlier today, just getting used to this thing and putting it on the canvas and all that good stuff. And in this pen, I've had a glue dot, I've had my scented tacky, my blueberries and vanilla tacky, and then I got wax in it right now because I just go through all the things and I get frustrated about how sticky my glue dot was, because I had actually 2 dots in there and that was really too much. I should just use 1 dot. And then I used my tacky, and then I watched Mary Making Mud. I think that's what it is. Her Etsy shop is Mary Making Mud. Anyway, her YouTube channel, and she does a drop, like usually on Saturday mornings, on what she's going to drop on her shop. But she had Friday night, last night is when she did her live of what she was going to drop on her shop. So I was like, oh, let me watch this, because usually on Saturdays I'm doing Lord knows what I'm doing, especially Saturday morning. She's like Central Time. She's in Illinois, Chicago, and so she's an hour behind me. So her shop dropped at 9 o'clock my time last night, at 8 o'clock her time. Anyway, she makes scented putty for diamond painting. So she was talking about, apparently there's an Alice in Wonderland event going on, and she was making, I think, scents for that event, like 4 scents. And I got one of the scents I got 3, I think. One was cucumber melon, was one of her new scents. I got lemon chiffon, because she said that's a really popular scent. So I was like, well, I'll get that, because I like lemon. And then she has a, what's called, for the Alice in Wonderland event, she did the Cheshire Cat farts, like, unicorn farts, but Cheshire Cat farts. And she said that it smells like a sweet berry. So berries with a sweet, like sugary scent, I guess, with it. So I was like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'll get that one too. So I got those 3. So hopefully next week I'll get them in so I can try them out with you guys and see how it does. And then I'll have to watch our YouTube video again on how to actually load your pen up with it. So yeah, I like to find different things, for a while there I was using the Eileen's tack, sticky tack for posters and things. I was using that, and that lot for me lasts forever. Not as forever, I think, as a glue dot does if you do your glue dot right, but that lasts a good long time for me when I diamond painted. So yeah, I just get bored with whatever I have in the pen. If you, like I said, if you have the glue dot in right, you can go banging on that thing and not know any difference, but you gotta have it right. And I didn't have it right because I had 2 in there and I only need 1, and there you go. And sometimes it gets non-sticky, and of course it's the regular tip pen, so you can see the blue tacky coming out of the end. So I got a tacky tail on the inside, but there's nothing I can do about it because I can't get it back out. So there's that. So that's what I have watched. I watched last night, and then I was watching some people that I haven't watched lately on my this channel. So I have my own personal not channel, but my own personal login, and that's where I'm subscribed to Stitch Turista and Mr. Crochet and Coffee and Rebecca at 4 Kids and 147, and different people that I'm Diamonds and Washi, different people like that. And then on my channel, this one, the Susan Diamond Paints channel, I have people that I'm subscribed to that are smaller numbered of subscriber creators, that a lot of them have subscribed to me here, and so I try and subscribe to them. And then that's how I watch. It's on this side, on this channel, on this side. That's how I watch. Watch those channels. So I was watching Crafting with V today. So I think I'm almost caught up on all her videos. So she's kind of something like me and cracks me up. So I was watching her today. So then I have Pencil Surprises that I need to catch up on, and the Crafting Lounge. I got to watch some of those. So I'll do that here after I get done with this video, and you'll see what you get, and then I'll work on some more of the canvas here. So that's kind of where I'm at, because I knew it wasn't going to be a long video, because I had that other one that I have that you'll see Monday. It's probably almost a 30-minute one, so today's won't be that long, although it's like 25 minutes. So just a little bit of brief, hey, how you doing? This is where I'm at. I've got my first read of the year is over here on a book. The book was called Mr. Mayfair. There's like 244 pages, so of my 1,000 pages for the year has been read. So I want to change out, I think, my journal from my book log. I decided that I'm going to do a Let's Turn Pages page where I'm keeping up with how many pages, you know, for the books that I read, and kind of color the squares in and track things that way. Just kind of give myself the milestone that I'm trying to accomplish here. That one's trashy. It's got a hole in it. I don't want that one. And then sitting here and earlier today getting used to this tray and holding it, and then putting the beads back in the container. I finally got that handled. But before, I tell y'all what, them things were going everywhere. They were in the floor. It's like, you know, I hope I have enough, but I'm pretty sure that I got some spares in the colors that I'm gonna need, so that's okay. Hopefully I'll have them anyway. So it's like, beads in the floor. I'm gonna have to sweep them things up again. That's the only thing about, you know, tracking stuff in, sleeves and stuff, is I have to sweep it all up. So I swept it up yesterday, but then forgot to get the dustpan out and catch it all up. So I did that when I came over today. I was like, let me clean this up real quick. So that's, you know, that's what that is. So my floor's clean now, though I got beads in the floor again. So there you go. That's where I'm at. Oops, that bead's not this color. Let me take that out. Oops, come here. Come here. Finished watching Wednesday. So now we're on that deal of what are we supposed to watch now. So we watched Ghost Hunters today. And I can't talk about that too. So Ghost Hunters today, the episode we watched, they were in Mount Pleasant, North Carolina, in a distillery that used to be a prison. Southern Grace Distilleries, I think is the name of the place. So that was pretty. And they had a lot of activity too, a lot of voices and shadow figure that was seen multiple times, but and a lot of voices. But yeah, they don't feel like anything is like dangerous or anything to like the tours and things like that. So because you know it used to be a prison, so women obviously are going to get kind of more attraction there because they're women weren't in men's prison. So but you know it was pretty neat and cool to see that. And then you know, and they were, you know, they're very good at what they do, and they enjoy themselves, and like I said, they caught a lot of stuff there. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then Les has a guy that he used to watch on YouTube, Matt Philly, who used to do videos for computer setups and pretty much beat you up pretty bad if you had a crappy setup. So, but he doesn't do that anymore. He does videos or vlogs with him and his girlfriend, and he lives in Florida, so he goes to Disney World like a lot. But he's a huge Disney fan, so I mean you have to give him credit for that. He's a huge fan, so he can't help himself. But he goes to I think every time you turn around, he's staying in a different place and going to a different park. So one of the videos we watched is they went to Disney property, Hilton Head Island. So Hilton Head has a Disney hotel, and so they went there Christmas. Y'all, it's the dead of winter. Number one, Hilton Head is a beach type city. Number two, Hilton Head Island is a retirement area for the older folks. And me and Les were talking about it. I said, you go there and it's Christmas. No, it's going to be dead. Let me tell you how that works. It's dead. It's a beach town that, you know, makes their money during the on season. You're in the off season right now. This is the off season. No, that is not it. Well, that's my church. Who's calling me? So that's not it. You're in the off season. So no, places aren't going to stay open I mean, we're talking about like really close to Christmas. They were traveling back up to North Carolina because that's where his family is right now for Christmas. So they get there, there's not a lot to do, places close at 5 o'clock, like on property, so if you're going to eat, you're going to have to eat off property. So they went off property to eat and got ice cream for dessert and had he had his first pedicure and then, you know, I don't know why y'all think y'all can expect 5-star pedicure over here. You're in Hilton Head, come on now. But at any rate, it's a beach town. I mean, it is. That's what it is. So when you're going into the off season, you kind of one of those things like you need to research that a little bit better because you're going in the off season, not the on season. But they didn't like it, so they only stayed like one night and left. And he's like, well, hey, that gives me an extra day, you know, to spend, you know, in North Carolina with family. So, you know, there you go. You want to just give a place to stay overnight. And then find out you don't like it. That was my whole thing. I was like, I don't understand what they thought they were going to do because it's winter. You don't go to the beach in the winter unless you want to do absolutely nothing. And, you know, go to maybe like restaurants that even though they're closed early, you just have to go eat early. And then if you're going to be a later eater, then you just snack later or something. I don't know. And then it was funny too because the place they went and ordered breakfast and got kids' breakfasts. Usually, you know, we get kids' breakfasts and pay about $20 for it. And she got like, you know, 3 or 4 Mickey Mouse little miniature waffles and some bacon. And then he got like potatoes and eggs and it looked like he had bacon with his. I can see if I got any more used. I don't see any though. Now the L's. I'm not working on used right here. This is what I'm working on. I should say the sideways L's, but yeah. So, any rate, his was all smushed, scrambled up together. Not, you know, like literally scrambled together, but in the box. It was just, you know, tossed around there. It was all together. It looked like something, you know, maybe that's what a kid would eat. Not a grown-up, so I don't know what you're thinking to order the kids' meal there. Sometimes the kids' meal does you okay, but I don't think really with breakfasts like that. So you'd have been better off getting on the road and eating at Cracker Barrel or something. But I digress. So we watched that. So he didn't like Hilton Head. And then, of course, this most recent episode that we just watched. So he's behind on some episodes. But, you know, there's only so much of Disney that you can really watch with a guy. But anywho. His last time riding Splash Mountain. So apparently, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on this because I'm really guessing here. I guess they're redoing Splash Mountain. Although when I watched him go through Splash Mountain and he went in the nighttime, unless it's like I never really thought about riding it at night. I'm thinking I ain't riding it at night in the dead of winter. I mean I know it's warm in Florida. We like to go to Orlando Disney World during September and October because, you know, that's when it's less people and it's really still kind of warm and nice. You can enjoy yourself. But I don't know if I can imagine going and being, you know, not as like 80-degree weather warm in December because they are known to get their cold fronts just like we are and have their cold little spells. I've been down there before and had a cold spell and be prepared enough for it. Take a sweatshirt with you, but not unheard of. But anyway, so they rode it at night, but they're going through it. And I look at Les. I said it may be his last ride on Splash Mountain, and his girlfriend, she's not a big fan of it. I said I'm kind of surprised. I said that Splash Mountain still is Splash Mountain because in Splash Mountain is the Song of the South story. So it's Brer Rabbit and Zippity Doo Dah and that whole thing. And I said, you know, that's considered racist now. So I said, you know, I know Disney's kind of better than that. I mean, they're all things, you know, trying to be politically correct. So that's what they're talking about in the last time it being Splash Mountain. So apparently, I think it's still going to be Splash Mountain, but it's going to get renamed and it might be Tron. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm right on that. I almost have to look it up to see, but I don't think it's going to be called Splash Mountain anymore, and I don't think it's going to have the Song of the South story in it. So, that's my thoughts on that, but, you know, I could be wrong, I don't know. I don't know all things Disney World because, you know, we've done, we used to go like every other year. This is obviously before COVID. It gets pricey, I'll tell you that. Now, the first time I went, I did all the things, and I wore less out. So we stayed in a Disney Vacation Club resort. It was the, what was the name of it? Oh, Key West. Oh, Key West is where we stayed. And like I said, it was during the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We went in late September. I don't think it was October yet. I think it was September. And got upgraded. This is when they first were doing the dining plans. So got upgraded to a free dining plan. So that point in time, it just started, the dining plans had just started. So it was the meal of, you know, your breakfast, your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. I think it was all three. And, you know, breakfast is one thing, and then to do a full course for lunch, and then turn around and do a full course of a meal for your dinner was a bit much, because your dinner came with your appetizer, your meal, and your dessert. And then it was, you know, credits is, you were getting credits for your meals and snacks. So if you did a character dining experience, it was like 2 credits off with your meal of, you know, an extra credit just for the character dining. We did that with the backyard barbecue. So that was a barbecue, and it was really good. We enjoyed that. But, you know, going to, like, I made reservations for every place we went to. So in the Magic Kingdom, I made reservations at Liberty Tree Tavern dining. So that was our meal, supper meal. And then I did the Mexican place in Epcot. And I did Rainforest Cafe in, I want to say, the Rainforest Cafe was in the Animal Kingdom, I think. Now, y'all gotta bear with me. This is a crap ton long time ago. And then I did the Sci-Fi Drive-In Dining Theater at Hollywood Studios. And I think that's it. So we went to all the places, all things Disney, and then I had all the places picked, and we were early eaters, so it would be around 4. The Liberty Tree Tavern we really like, but, you know, dinner time's family style, so it's a lot of food, and, you know, we can only eat so much, so it was just us 2, so, you know, it's a lot of food for 2 people. Family style is a lot of food. You know, these are you just see it. They just keep sliding down the canvas, going into the floor. I'm so pitiful. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I did my first year. And like by the Thursday, I think Les was like, "No, we gotta you know, take a break." And I was like going first thing in the morning and going, you know, staying until, you know, whenever, and seeing all the things and doing all the things. And that's what I did when I went to Magic Kingdom. I did all the things. I did all the rides except for, I am not a roller coaster person. Therefore, I did no roller coasters. I don't like heights, so I wasn't doing any kind of height stuff either. I did do Splash Mountain though. That was the my first year. I told Les that I would do it. He couldn't get me on Rock and Roller Coaster. That wasn't happening because I don't do roller coasters. I'm okay with water rides, so that's what we did. And yeah, it was a drop and it was crazy, but it would really be insane if you did that at night. And I got wet, soaking wet. So yeah, I can deal with that in September as opposed to December. It's like I said, it's a lot warmer in September in Florida than I think it is in December. But anyway, it could be around the same, but trust me, they get the cold fronts just like we do. So they get a little chilly weather like we do. chilly for them anyway. So there is that. So yeah, So then after doing that first one, it was, like I said, it was about every other year we were going. So the longer you go, the higher the prices get. So the last couple of times we've gone, we haven't stayed on Disney property. We didn't go to Disney. We just paid for our our Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets. They let you in the park about 6, 7 o'clock. So me personally, you spend 7 o'clock till midnight. It's 5 hours in the park. What more do you need? That's enough time to do everything. All the things you want to do, plus go trick-or-treating. I mean, you don't get any better than that. And that's what I recommend anybody that wants to do anything like this. Just pay for the party ticket, whatever it is, the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, or the Christmas. No, they do a Christmas thing. I've never gone at Christmas because there's too many crap ton of people. Everybody goes at Christmas because that's when everybody's on the break. That's when all the kids are. In September, the only kids you're seeing is those from overseas, because they have a break or what have you, and younger children. So, except for if you get really close to the, Halloween nights, and then everybody in Florida decides that's the best place to go trick or treating. I don't know, but just young kids. So that's why you're having to deal with not really old ones and being stupid ones. So that's to me the best time to go. So that's what we do. So that's why I said that's what we did. And this was, like I said, before COVID. I know now the prices are insane for Disney, and it's kind of like these things. I've been there, I've done it, I've seen it. I'm okay with not going back. I mean, I've been, so I can't complain too much there. I've been, and I've been multiple times. So we like Disney, and Disney's great, but I don't have to go there all the time. So I'm kind of good and okay with that. All right, so I'm going to stop the audio here, and then probably stop the video too with you. I know I got a little bit more that you can see that I have to do, but like I said, I only have so much talking to do with you guys, and I just realized that I probably just missed about half of what I just said. So I don't know, my phone goes to the screen where I can't see anything, and I don't know if it's recorded anything or not. So I guess I'm gonna find out here in a minute. Oh, I see one more that I need to do before I gotta put it up. So, all right, but I will chat with y'all again later, and y'all enjoy the video. Bye.